Okay, greetings Tuesday, that's person with agendas and persuasions. How you all doing? I'm here today with my little child Warren. Anybody that knows me knows that he's transgender, so I've been having questions and things like that because he's recently had surgery. So we thought we'd do a little talk just to sort of try and clear a few things up so people know what we're talking about, sort of thing. So, you can explain what actually being transgender means.
What transgender means? Depends really. It can mean different things for different people. Technically, it's a proper medical condition. I technically have a medical condition known as gender dysphoria. It's to be scientific about it. It's basically when you're in the womb being produced. A chromosome changes at the last second, so your body and all of your like chemicals and stuff like that perceive you to be one gender, but then at the last minute it kind of switches and you're perceived as the opposite when you're born.
So it's sort of like your brain says I'm male, but your body says I'm female.
Yes, that's the kind of science behind it. On a personal level, it feels like when you put a pair of trousers on and you go, oh, these trousers are a bit tight, and then you kind of try and walk around all day wearing these really tight trousers and it just feels uncomfortable and you don't feel quite right. Imagine that every minute of every day. That's pretty much how I feel on a kind of personal level. It's like being in something really tight and uncomfortable and you're going, this isn't how I feel, this isn't quite right.
Yeah, this isn't me. You know, it'd be like trying to me wearing a dress. I don't do dresses.
Exactly.
You know, it's sort of like I would feel uncomfortable. So it's sort of like not feeling like you're in the right body.
Yeah.
Hence the gender dysphoria, because it's like you perceive yourself to be something that physically you're not. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
Warren also recently had surgery. He's had his top half done, which was a breast reduction, basically. So there has been some breast tissue left behind because
80%.
Yeah, because even men still have boobs, you know, still have breast tissue to some extent. So he's had that surgery. That'll be like the first step in it. That's like the first set of surgery.
Yeah.
So what other sort of surgeries have you got coming up, and how do they work?
Well, chest surgery is obviously the first one. Everyone sort of goes, oh, have you had the op? Thinking that there's one op that does everything. It's not the case. There's about 6 or 7. From female to male, there's a few more, as far as I'm aware, from speaking to other people that have gone male to female. Apparently male to female is a bit easier to do than female to male, because obviously when you're male, obviously you have your downstairs department and they pretty much just turn it inside out, which is what creates
the vagina, basically.
The women bits. But to do it the other way round is a little bit more complicated. Obviously, yeah, chest op is the first op where I've had a double incision, which is where they like cut underneath, take a section out, and then basically stitch it back down to keep it flat. And then they have to adjust the nipples. They basically have to cut my nipples off and stitch them on somewhere else to adjust them to make them aesthetically pleasing. Bottom surgery is the second op, although this op is done in about 3 or 4 stages. They have to take a huge chunk out of my arm and use that, big huge chunk they'll take out of my arm, use that to kind of graft the pole, for want to not kind of say penis.
The penis. Just say penis, who cares? But you know what it is, you don't have to be...
The shaft.
The dong, the schlong, the one-eyed trouser snake.
Whatever you want to call it. So they take a huge chunk out of my arm to kind of graft and construct that, and then they have to obviously sew it on, and then they have to obviously connect nerve endings, and so that I can feel it, really. Yeah,
don't they sort of use some part of the clitoris as well, don't
they? Yeah, they basically bring it forward to where like a man's bell end would be, so I would get some pleasure and some enjoyment.
So it's not just like
on a sexual level.
A piece of meat, as it would.
No.
You will get some sort of sensation.
To begin with, yes, they literally just sew it on, and then they kind of got to let that settle a little bit, and then they sort of connect nerve endings and things like that, and obviously allow like connections so I can pee through it and things like that, to basically create as normal. I say as normal,
looking,
as aesthetically pleasing and as manly as it can look, in terms of things like that. And then another operation is obviously to make it so I can use it. Talking to my doctor, I go see a doctor in Exeter every like 3-4 months. Talking to him, the best way to do it is via pump system. So they basically I will have obviously it created, and I will have a set of balls that obviously are just
testicles.
they're just there for look,
there.
really.
Yeah.
But one will have a small pump inserted into, which will basically allow me to have an erection.
Yeah, it's like imagine like blowing up an airbed or a pint of Lilo or something like that. You just like pump, up it goes, and then you're a little release valve when it goes down again.
Although apparently it doesn't make the noise. Apparently the one thing that's good about it is it doesn't make that weird. You know when you pump something up, it noise.
Excuse me, darling. One moment.
That would be a little bit awkward, I think. You know, one moment.
It's like pumping up your Air Nikes, isn't it? You know.
But yeah. So that's one good thing about it.
So when they take it from your arm, what happens to your arm afterwards?
They take a chunk from my kind of thigh area, because obviously my got quite manly rugby thighs.
You've got airy legs, I'll tell you what, it's testosterone jelly, I've got airy legs.
They basically take a huge chunk out of my thigh and then sew that onto my arm. So I just have some scars on my arm and some scars on my legs where obviously they've taken the tissue from. But
because some people get like tattoos to cover up the scars.
Yeah, I'm just gonna come up with some funky story like
you've been attacked by sharks.
I went surfing and some woman was stranded on her surfboard with a shark, and I punched the shark and I'm just gonna come up with some crazy ass story for wrestling some form of crocodile or great white whale, maybe a killer whale. Maybe I got bit by a killer whale. That could be the story.
That'd be
Who
a good
knows?
One. Yeah.
Have any stories? Please post them in the comments below.
Yeah, feel free. Yeah, so if you've got any other questions, then feel free to leave them in the comments below, or send them to me via like Facebook, Twitter. Again, links to that will be in the description down below. So yeah, hopefully that's cleared up a few questions that I've been getting. I mean, I've been explaining as best I can, but obviously I'm not physically going through it myself. So, and obviously he is, so he knows a bit more about it and stuff. But anyway, yeah, so hope that has cleared up a few misdemeanors. What's the word? Misconceptions, miscongeniality,
Cleared up any...
Mr. Bus? I don't know.
Cleared up anything you wanted to know.
Ah, that'll be the one then, yeah. Okay. Right, so yeah, thanks to Warren for having a little talk with us.
Not a problem.
And yeah, any comments, leave them down below. And you all take care. I love you all, and I'll see you all soon. Bye! Bye!
Keep waving until the camera's turned
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Just keep waving. Just keep waving until they're gone.